I don't have a notification
It's
for you
preparing.
yet.
Just go. There we
Same.
go.
Not saying nothing.
There we go. Now it should be going. There we go. Now I think we're live. Oh man, I am
There it is.
out of it today. Hello,
don't have a
everybody. Hello,
notification
hello.
for you
Preparing.
yet.
Just go. There we
Same.
go. Oh, now everything's
Not
looping.
saying nothing.
Stop looping. There we go. Now it should be. There we go. Sorry, internet. That was a bunch of loop. Oh man, Ah! Okay, I fixed it. It's done now. Everything started playing. I apologize. Welcome back to my channel. And yeah, so we're going to do some writing, and I'm going to do a quick roundabout and have everyone introduce themselves. So, A.L. Williams.
Hi, I'm A.L. Williams. I'm the author of Immortal Scars, available for pre-order on my Amazon. And I have a broken ankle, so you're going to have to deal with all this.
Valid. What are you working on tonight? Do you know?
Book 3, Shameful Scars.
All right. It's CJ.
Hi, I'm CJ Blair, and I am working on my outline for Nano.
Okie doke. And Carrow.
Hello, my name is Carrow Brown. I am an author for a couple different publishers. I am actually here to work on college work. I am working on how confidence intervals are used within the field of psychology for data analysis. Very exciting stuff, I know.
All right. And I am Sarah Scharnover, and this is my channel, and I do stupid things, and that'll probably happen tonight too. But yeah, so I'm going to work on boys because I thought I was going to work on a video, and then I remembered that I can't do that while I'm streaming anymore. So yeah. All right, and hello to Persephone, Tamara, Cassie, and Savannah. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. My ear is bugging me. I hate wearing wearing headphones with glasses. It drives me crazy. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, yeah. So what's everybody got going on tonight? Is everybody having an exciting night? Hi, Steven. Oh, my pizza just got here, y'all, so you're just going to have to put up with that being a thing.
Pizza.
I had a weird experience dealing with this whole broken ankle thing.
Yeah?
And it's very closely related to psychology, and I'm still trying to figure it out, where I feel isolated, or I feel like I'm on like a ball and chain, but then I don't feel grounded at the same time. So it's like I'm disassociating, but trapped at the same time. Very weird. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant.
Yeah, my significant other has to like hold my hand for the ground me because physical touch. It's one of the things that helps with distancing.
Right.
And it's just because I've never broken a bone or been trapped like this. It's just new. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that has to be a very different feeling when all of a sudden, just one day, you're just laid up.
yeah, because I'm the type of person who's always going. Like, I have to be doing something.
Yeah.
Right.
Laying here and, I know I'm healing, but it's driving me insane.
Right, and now everybody's telling you have to sit there and do nothing.
Yep,
Yeah.
cabin fever.
Yeah.
Fever.
All right, so we started a little late, but we can start a sprint fairly quickly here.
I'm ready when you are. Put me to work.
Same.
Yeah.
Ow. My glasses, they suck so
Hi,
bad.
Persephone.
We're going to do this for now. This is how I'm going to do it, like I'm my dad. I can do like this. I don't have bifocals, so that doesn't actually work.
Does anyone know what? Okay, maybe I'm stupid, but does anyone know what a stigmatism actually is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to go?
No, go on.
It's is it the cornea is shaped like a
Yeah.
football?
It's the lens part.
Is it just
right?
the lens? Okay.
Or is it the,
It's
I don't know.
shaped like a football
Part of
rather
your
than
eye.
a circle.
Because they said I have astigmatism in one eye, so I was just trying to figure out what that was.
Yep.
It's
It
the
means-
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they have to
So
correct.
it just means like when you wear contacts, they have to have, like, I have an astigmatism in my, which was right eye. I have to get not special contacts, but they have to special order them because it has to have a certain shape in order for it to fit in.
They feel almost like they're weighted.
Yeah.
Like they're.
Yeah, is that why like I can always tell when one of my eyes has a contact in it and it's almost uncomfortable?
Yes.
Like this
Okay.
eye's bigger. This eye's bigger than this eye, so they usually end up having to rotate the lens for this eye.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to talk to them because they didn't even bother like special ordering a different shape, so I can't wear my contacts because it bothers one of my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's an awful.
Yeah, I've been functioning with the free pair that you get when you do your eye exam, because buying contacts is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
And I scratched one of them with my mascara wand. So I've got like a 4-hour window of contact lenses.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's rough.
It's dumb, but eventually I'll have enough money and I'll buy more contacts and then I'll be able to see again.
Oh, and something I have to tell you. I don't know if I actually mentioned it when I wrote that long Facebook post. But during my stay at the hospital, I was like, I had a roll, right? And I bit into it and it broke one of my front teeth.
Ooh.
So I literally like have a tooth that's like
Oh
up
my
here.
God.
And I'm like, really? And I don't have the money to go to a dentist. I'm like, of all things, I break a tooth and an ankle.
Right?
Mm.
And it had to be a front tooth. It can't be one in the back where you could kind of like work with it.
Right.
Yeah, it had to be the ones that everybody can see. So I'm having a
that's
great
frustrating.
I'm really am.
Uh-oh, it's a puppy collar. Puppy collar!
I almost thought that was a rubber ducky. I was like, where's Ducky?
He came to show me his toy, so I threw it for him.
Dreamer does that to me. Sometimes you'll hear her in the background in my streams because she does this weird little sound. It almost sounds like the other cat throwing up, but it's her being very excited because she has her ball in her mouth and she's like, ah! And I'm always like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, good job.
I hope you can get that the tooth sorted, Alex. Though that's
Yeah, I
rough.
hope so too.
Yeah, I'll probably have to I was making a joke, if I make any money off of my book, it's gonna go to my teeth.
Yeah,
It's expensive.
It is.
Yeah. And yeah, my insurance it will only cover emergency extractions. It will not cover anything else.
Right.
Wow.
Ours in Illinois doesn't even cover that anymore.
Really?
Last I knew, they didn't cover anything dental except for antibiotics.
They just started this year covering all extractions. Like they have a $1,200 limit or something per year. Before it was nothing, like nothing.
That's good though, because I think people forget that like dental infections do kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a joke.
And see, that's the thing is they would cover the medication for that, but once it was healed, they kicked you out. They wouldn't do anything about the tooth.
Well, and like my wisdom tooth that I just had to have pulled because it got infected, they couldn't get the infection out of it until they pulled it. Like there was a pocket of infection under my tooth that they couldn't get to, and the antibiotics weren't strong enough to like get rid of it. So there was always like this lingering infection. It was just a matter of when was it going to go off again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they probably would have done that here too, but most of the time it's like if it's gone, they just kick you out and say have fun and wait till it comes back.
Yeah, I had to pay to get mine pulled. I mean, it was not cheap.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a surgical extraction too. So because I pulled it myself in a Walmart parking lot like 8 years ago. So back when I didn't have the money. This time we managed to figure it out, but our landlord wasn't impressed. But yeah, sometimes you gotta.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
I've just been having a lot of bad luck this freaking month, and I'm just
you really
stay
have.
positive.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay positive.
Yeah, you've had a little bit of a run here. Let's hope that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Hi, Sabra. Welcome, welcome. Cassie can't do contacts. I wish I could do them longer. I put them in for videos. I put them in. If I'm going to be driving into the sun, I will wear them. So I can wear sunglasses.
I love wearing contacts. It just pisses me off that one eye.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's the thing is I really love contacts, but these contacts are driving me crazy. So I've got this tiny window of time I can wear them, so I just, like nurse them.
Drives me insane.
Everything is too damn expensive. In the words of a very intelligent man, the rent is too damn high.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Really? This is what we're doing over here. Stop growling.
Breathing is too expensive these days.
Yeah, it
That
really
is
is.
so true.
It really is, especially if like you need anyone's assistance to do it. So, all right. Well, why don't we go ahead and start a sprint? Let me see if I can find my
Yes.
clock. There you are.
I need
Hi.
to do some stuff.
Saber wrote 1,600 words today and is going to try to crank out another 2K. All right, we'll see.
I'm ready.
All right. Who wants to count it down?
Oh, not me. My husband brought me dinner, so that's why you guys are looking at my backyard.
It's all good. I'm about to put pizza in my face.
I'll do it.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ah. Hey, Travis. Can you get me a napkin of some sort? Thank you. Let's kick the cat.
Oh, that's okay. They probably deserved it.
Oops. What's wrong, Roland?
But you said you're not, though.
that lovely? We're done. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything go off.
Oh. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Look it! That's pizza.
Pizza.
I've already eaten too much of it, but I want it still. Oh, so how'd everybody do? I did not get much done. I got mostly pizza.
I found 2 citations to say I'm right, so.
Hey!
Excellent.
That's
I
good.
changed chairs and now have a cat on my lap.
I got 241 words.
Awesome.
Yay!
They were torn out of me by force because I was having a hard time.
Right.
Sometimes that's how it goes.
And looks like the adorable author joined us. I think that's the only new person we got. I think Sabra was here, wouldn't he?
Saber
started.
pops in and pops out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, she does that. I think her internet or her computer are spotty, one or the other.
Yeah, because I know she joined mine and then she had internet problems and had to go.
Yeah. And I think she just cleaned her whole computer off, so.
Mm.
We'll put my brace back on, which means I'm not going to eat any more of this pizza for a while. Okay. That's my carpals are tunneling. They're not good at all. They're mad. Half a chapter edited. Awesome. Hello, Jean. Welcome, welcome. And Tamara's going to go watch some Hank Green videos. Oh, no, she did watch some Hank Green videos. I mean, if you got to go watch some Hank Green videos, I'm not going to be hating on you. It's fair. So yeah, if anyone would be willing to hit the like button, I would appreciate it a great deal. Yeah, so yeah.
I has hit the like button.
Thank you, Muchly. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Same.
Yep.
I am sleepy and I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to leave.
That's too early.
I'm not driving, at least. My boss's boyfriend is driving us to the airport. Because we have to drive all the way into O'Hare, so it's like a 90-minute drive. Unfortunately, I'm a backseat car puker.
Oh.
You think you can get the front seat if you tell her that?
I don't want to sit in the front seat next to her boyfriend, no.
Oh, okay.
That's weird. So I think, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll slam a bottle of wine before I go sleep in the back seat or something.
Hi, Stewie.
I haven't ridden in the back seat of a car since my wedding, but it didn't go well then. So. But in all fairness, I was backwards in a limo. So that is much different than forward in the back seat.
Yes,
So,
it is.
Yeah, it is.
hopefully, as I've gotten older, I've increased my tolerance of the back seat of the car.
Oops, so.
Yeah.
Motion system.
I have not tried the wristbands. I don't necessarily know if they would work, but I have not actually tried them. My motion sickness is like the worst I've ever heard of. Maybe I'll try to pick one up. Like I've never known anyone who's as bad as I am. I got sick sitting on a beach watching the waves come in and out. Like I didn't used to be like that. I used to be able to like ride on the teacups and, do the scrambler and no. If I turn too fast, I get nauseous now.
I've only gotten car sick once, and I was very much hungover at the time, so it was self-induced.
Yeah, that is a little different.
I only get car sick if it's like a really windy road or lots of ups and downs for long periods of time. That's about it.
I did get motion sick once, but it was actually at the movie theater. It was Cloverfield, and I sat too close to the screen. I was like, I think halfway through the movie, I got up and moved like further back.
Yeah, Cloverfield was bad for that, and then the Blair Witch Project was bad for that too.
I couldn't watch the Blair Witch. It was just too much.
Yeah. That came out back when I didn't have this problem. So.
Yeah, I couldn't even get through it. It was just too much movement.
I watched it with my father, and he heckles about as much as I do. So of course we weren't taking it seriously. My mom wanted very much to watch it, and we were not. Because like when they found the sticks, we were like, "Ooh, sticks!" And she's like, "Be quiet."
I had in college, people made stick figures and put them outside of my room, and because they were very, very upset that I was a goth chick. You remember all that, CJ?
Yes, I do.
I still have photographs of them. So yeah, they like Blair Witched my dorm room.
I remember when I saw The Ring, somebody, even though I seriously think they were brilliant, like this was brilliant, but it scared the crap out of me. At the end of the movie The Ring, somebody had their daughter crawl down the middle of the freaking movie theater with the hair over her face, the same way the girl was climbing out of the TV. Everyone flipped out. It was brilliant, but creepy as hell.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Oh.
That's when I was a kid. I was a really big fan of this little-known movie called Matinee, starring John Goodman. And in it, they put like zappers in the chair. It's like a 1950s monster movie, except it's about a monster movie, like about them trying to like screen it. So they put like little zappers in the chairs, and they're having like monsters come out. And like I wish somebody put that much effort into something like that. It'd be way fun. But you know,
kind of like at theme parks.
Yeah.
My father is such a prankster. Like, I was not present for this prank, but I've heard about it through legend. Where he went camping with a bunch of his friends, and this was, I have to be honest, like, people in Britain don't really have a big sense of humor. It's the dry thing is very true. And so my dad, along with some of his other military friends, went camping, and they found like some Brits that were telling like ghost stories over a campfire. And one of his friends had brought their kid with them, so they all had a whole bunch of glow sticks. So they all shook them and covered the kid in glow sticks, and then set him loose onto the British people by the campfire, and they all went screaming to their cars.
Yeah, I've never. I don't do pranks. And there's one good reason, and that is because in college, when I lived on campus, I decided it would be really funny to saran wrap my friend's car. My 22-year-old friend. Why did he go out to his car having a heart attack? Like literally, I'm not making that up. That's not a joke. He literally went to his car having a heart attack. Never did it again. I don't prank people. I don't do it because apparently I'm the fucking worst at it. So.
Wow.
Yep.
See, I don't do it because, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just sensitive, but because of how much I was bullied in school, I don't do pranks. I just don't.
I've only done one prank, and it was actually on someone that I didn't like. So I don't know if it's really a prank, but they kept leaving, like, this was in the military, and they kept leaving their computer unlocked. And of course, I worked in a department with lots of sensitive information, and we kept getting dinged because they wouldn't lock their computer. And when I had reminded them when they got up, he very professionally told me to go F myself. And I was like, okay, whatever. So he went out for lunch, and I went to his computer, and I did a screen capture of his entire screen. I made that his wallpaper and hid the taskbar and all the icons on his laptop after that. And yeah, that was the most humorous 30 minutes of my military career.
Yeah, sometimes when you tell somebody to fuck off, they're gonna make sure you know that might not have been right.
Yep. And it wasn't malicious. And man, if only there was some way to figure out who had been in the office, but I had walked out and had smoke at the time, so I wasn't there.
Well, that's weird. If you would have been able to catch that person, they could have stopped him.
No, man, if only.
Yeah. Too bad. Elsie Clement said, my husband has no fight or flight reaction, so I don't even
There
bother.
are no children tortured with glow sticks. Dorkable author. Context.
Petty.
If
Gotta
she
love
cracks,
pettiness.
I do. Tamara calls me out on it every time.
To be fair, Tamara and I share one of our favorite channels is Petty Page, so petty is not necessarily
I
a
love
derogatory
Petty.
term.
But we don't just brew the tea, we drink it. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I love her. She's
She's
great. If you guys are
delightful.
unfamiliar and you like drama, Petty Page.
Oh, drama is the
Even
best.
if you don't like drama, she is delightful.
She really is.
The sass, like, at first when I'm listening to her, like, you can't be British. You're too witty for that.
You can't be British.
It's good.
Oh, that's funny.
I always like it when she's talking about hacking. She puts, like, the hoodie on, and she's, like, grinning at the camera and typing. I, like, lose it every time.
That reminds me of an artist channel. Whenever she's doing something goofy, she takes her hoodie and then she like closes it so there's this tiny little hole. So she's just like prancing around with this like hoodie thing on. It is hilarious when she does it. I don't know why.
Yeah, Simply Nailogical does the sock thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she like tucks herself in and says she's a sock. So yeah.
Childish humor is fun.
Yep. I love the internet. It's so much fun.
I love and hate the internet all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean you have to kind of curate the areas that you hang out in on the internet. But once you curate it, you can have a really good time. My Facebook used to frustrate the fuck out of me. And then one day I was just like, no, it's not going to frustrate me anymore. And I was just like, not looking at this bitch, not looking at this bitch, not looking at this bitch, not looking at this bitch.
Oh, dude, I just unfriend people all over the place just because I don't need your drama. I don't need you ruining my day. The problem is my friends keep their drama-ridden friends on their page, and that's when I get riled up. That's when I want to, punch a bitch. So,
I don't have many actual I don't have many people who post drama who I need to see their posts.
Yeah,
those don't cross very much for me.
I'm one of those people. It's like I know as an adult I should just scroll, but I'm so freaking curious and childish.
Oh, sometimes I get there too. It's
It depends on the tea. It really does. I think it was a couple of months ago. Alina made some post on Facebook, and this was before I was in the AUTHORTUBE group page, and I was just like, she was so passionate about it. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I need to be part of this now.
Alina doesn't half-ass anything.
Me and my one of my other friends, she's very, very good at long paragraph questioning of people, interrogating people that make stupid comments that make no sense, and she'll literally continue to push them into a corner until they're curled into a ball. And I love reading it because it's just so funny.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Yeah, that's Travis's nephew who passed away. His girlfriend will go and fight people on Twitter and then screenshot it and post it on her Facebook, and it makes me so happy.
Yes, right. I love that.
Yeah, she will just shut their asses down, and I'm just like, you do you, Cece.
Dude, I don't know if you saw my post. Yeah, that post about the whole scissoring thing.
Yes.
Oh, shutting him down was so good. It felt so good.
I saw that, and I was just doing that, literally what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's is it too stupid to actually respond to somebody saying that? Maybe.
Is this a troll?
It's real stupid.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just it was fun at the time. I think I was just bored.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not personally upset by it, sometimes putting somebody in their place can be a fun time anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't really upset about that one. Right. I've been upset about a lot of things.
Ninja. Sorry, Ninja's being a child.
He's feisty over there.
He came up around the back of the chair and went. And Tag's sitting right here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, mine are good for that shit. Alright. I'm going to try to function with both of these braces on, but I don't think I can. Because I've got all the carpal tunnels.
All
I
of
feel
them.
you. I feel you.
I woke up crying the night before last, so I've been trying to, like, really keep my braces on, but yeah.
Matt, Ranger.
I
No.
love the X's having a spat on YouTube. I haven't seen a whole lot of X's having spats, although if I don't care what is happening, if you have something that shows Onision being a douchebag, I will watch that until my face falls off.
I won't watch Onision, but I'll watch people making fun of Onision.
Absolutely. He's never getting... And I have YouTube. I have paid YouTube, so I don't ever watch somebody that I don't like. Because they get better ad revenue off of me, and they always get their ad revenue off of me, so I'm like, no, you'll get nothing.
Oh, I wish I had paid YouTube again. I miss it so much.
My dad had so many seats, and he just added me, so I'm not even sure if he knows that I'm on it anymore, but I'm not going to tell him.
That's how it was on my stepdad's Netflix. I had access to his Netflix, so I don't think he knew.
Right, like, as soon as you tell me I can't anymore, okay, I won't anymore, but for
Yeah,
now,
well,
we'll just be silent.
I'm the one that reset his password for him, so I was just like, I'm going to use this because you're out of town 6 days out of the week.
Well, and like, if it's not going to be something where it's going to screw them, like with Hulu, you can only have so many screens on. I don't know if Netflix does that anymore.
No, you can pretty much stream.
But yeah, like if you're using my Hulu for free and I can't get on my Hulu, fuck you, you're off my Hulu. Like
right? Yeah, Hulu is one of those. No.
Yeah, if it doesn't affect me at all, whatever. So. Elsie, CJ's flares up when she crochets. But I don't do any of that, but I do spend about 8 to 10 hours on my computer at home at night, and I spend like 6 to 7 of my 8 hours at work on the computer. So I'm doing roughly 16 hours of computer work a day. So. And then I punched the wall yesterday when I was putting my coat on at work. And there's no like visible bruise, but it hurts like a bitch.
Yeah. Elsie, I did not miss the Pro Jared situation. Nope. I didn't feel the need to discuss it.
No, yeah, that's actually the Pro Jared situation is my husband's world, so I'm not getting involved in that because there was a bunch of tabletop gaming stuff involved there, and yeah.
The timing of everything involving that has always been suspect to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't find him appealing in any way. So, like, the idea of him not being on the internet anymore doesn't upset me at all. I'm not like, oh, that's sad, we've lost out on a person. Like, nope, he didn't actually appeal to me at all. I would not be right now watching Pro Jared videos. That wouldn't be happening. So, whatevs. And, like...
I don't even know who that is, so...
I'm with you, Al.
It was drama that was a combined drama between him and his wife divorcing, and a possible open relationship. But then on top of that, it came out that he may have been engaging with minors sexually. So what started out as what would be a private problem turned into like a big deal. So
yeah, because I think he did the announcement, and then it went downhill from there.
Yeah, he posted an announcement that was like, of no fault of anyone's, we're gonna get divorced. And she was like, bitch, of no fault of anyone's, you're fucking this other lady. Oh, and also, I hear that you have a place where you're getting nudes from little girls, essentially. And he was all like, nah, dog. And then everybody's like, yeah, dog.
Yeah, it was very intense. And then he came out with another video 2 weeks ago.
I don't know if I saw the newest one.
God.
I saw it for you. You don't have to see it.
Okay.
You're fine.
It's just, there's a limit about how real you should be on the internet, and that's a little too real.
Well, and you know how cartoons like Ed, and Eddie, they have like this style where they look human, but they don't really look human?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about him, so it really weirds me out. Like, he's got this weird extra long neck, and his head is weird, and I just... he's a strange dude in general. So, yeah, I don't know if he's definitely not as good at it as Onision. Like, for all of the things you can say about Onision, he's good at it. He's good at being garbage.
Yeah,
A+.
I think at the quartering called them all garbage people. I was like, that's a great term, garbage people.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, he's really, really good at it. And Pro Jared wasn't actually very good at it.
He was semi-garbage. Like, he wanted to be garbage, but he couldn't quite
Right.
lower himself to that level.
Yeah, he was just not capable of turning his garbage up high enough.
Man, nothing like talking about other people on the internet, man.
Right?
I don't really mind people knowing some of my personal life, just not the stuff that's personal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna film me having sex. It's just not gonna happen.
Right, and like, you don't get pizza, nosy.
I'll talk about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that just it's not conducive to like maintaining your relationships on the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, and you know, you see these people on the internet who are like, you know, this group are relationship goals, or those people are relationship goals. They're not relationship goals. They just don't tell you every time they bicker. Like, that's the difference between them and anyone else. My husband and I bicker. Do I post about it on the internet? No. Are there times where I film in my car on my way to work and I'm like, oh, I could kill Travis, and then I just cut it out? Yeah. But I cut it out because it's not anybody's fucking business.
Right.
Yeah. I've only had one instances where my personal life was like way overboard put online, and that was my ex-husband, and he was cray-cray. Like, cray-cray. Yeah.
But sometimes you can't control other people. There's no.
So yeah, I'm very boisterous and very like out there. I don't really shy away from people telling people the truth, but there's a limit. There is a limit.
Yeah.
So I don't get all of those YouTubers who just put everything out there.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I think honestly the best YouTubers in general on the platform are the people who make you think that you see every moment of their life even though you don't.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the real key to being really good at YouTube,
Mhm.
is to make everybody feel like they're included even when they're not. You know, I'm certain that these relationship goals people have fights, and that they argue about things, and that they get into disagreements, and I know that happens.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think some of it too with a lot of people who say, "Oh, this is relationship goals," what they don't realize is a lot of times those are healthy relationships, and they don't know what a healthy relationship is.
Right.
And they're sitting there saying, "Oh, this can't be real," and it's like maybe they're just healthier than you are.
Yeah. I just
That too.
people just inherently don't live together and get along every moment of every day.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
that obviously.
Yeah, like, you're going to have disagreements about things. There are going to be times when you're annoyed with the other person. Like, that's just normal. That there's nothing.
But I guess
about
it's
that's weird.
the people that I've interacted with, they think that you need to be bickering every 5 minutes.
Oh
So,
yeah, that is also
like,
a thing.
no, that's not healthy.
Yeah,
I've been in those relationships.
Yeah,
okay?
there is a contingent of people that think that always being frustrated and annoyed with each other is the status that you should.
And that's the one I'm more referring to, where maybe that's just a healthy relationship.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you should be able to tolerate each other.
Right? You should at least like each other a little bit.
Right.
He can't be that good. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Right. I find it unlikely.
Right?
Highly unlikely, yeah.
All right.
But-
So, do we want to do another quick sprint here? Because we've been fucking around for a long time.
I think we should.
It's your channel. I'll do whatever you tell me to, within reason.
Fair
reason.
enough. I'm probably not going to ask you to do anything too unreasonable. So you want to count it down, CJ?
Yes, I will do that. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Do your thing. Oh, Carrow's thing is dancing.
Ow.
All right. That does it. Oh, bye, Cassie. I probably missed her, though. But bye. So how'd everybody do?
I'm still working on these character outlines. And they're like, I'm working on secondary characters. And they're fine. It's just trying to figure out.
Like their agency? Is that what you're trying to figure out?
Kind of like where they fit in the. So the story is about this community, and where they fit in the community matters. So, yeah.
Gotcha. How'd everybody else do?
I found another site to say I'm right.
Woohoo!
Woo-hoo!
I'm gonna have
Those
to
are
find
always
one that
nice.
says I'm wrong. So that way I
What
can
if there isn't one?
There's always one. You know, somebody out there's contradictory. They're kind of like, well, even though you said the sky is blue, I'm going to argue that it's not. I'm like, okay, man, whatever.
Right.
But,
Yeah, I know those people.
I do too.
How'd you do, Alec?
322.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, it's excellent.
Most outstanding.
Yeah.
I'll
Finally
admit.
got through that scene that I was struggling with.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
All right, and then the adorable author got another half chapter of edits. Persephone is cleaning her desk. Jean is back to chapter juggling. That sounds fun. Wendy is not writing tonight. She's just here to cheer us on. Thank you, Wendy. The adorable author says secondary characters are one of her biggest challenges.
Yay.
I like to give them a purpose that goes contradictory to like the main character, because then they fight, and I like fighting.
And I like fighting.
I like fighting.
I like conflicts.
Like, once you're not happy, tell me more.
Oh my god. So, my significant other brought me hot chocolate and whipped cream.
Oh, that's a good
A+.
SO.
I know, right? I'm going to eat all the whipped cream.
Did they also adjust your ice for you?
Yes, my ice is back on my ankle now.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Good. All is right in the world.
Yes.
So Elsie already wrote their outline for NaNoWriMo and is now outlining the rest of their first draft and working on second book outline. Tamara wrote an email. I legit ended up on Etsy looking at Twin Peaks stuff, and then I came up with a Twin Peaks theory.
Wait.
Which doesn't sound like a big deal, but it was.
It really was.
Did you say Etsy or Pinterest?
Etsy.
Okay. Like, sometimes they're the same to me, but
Yeah, I don't actually use Pinterest. I don't understand it. I can never make it work.
every time I go on Pinterest, I end up making
I
salad
don't know,
in a jar, and I
dude.
don't know what happened.
You end up making what?
Salad in a jar, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, I know.
See, she gets me.
And I'm fairly competent at Pinterest. Like, that's one of the places where I like store information for research and stuff. And I find it very useful for that. But every once in a while I get lost. I either end up making like knitting or crocheting something that I had no intention of doing ever, or I end up making food that I had never heard of before.
It's learned something about me, because now when I go on there, it's like, we heard that you like tarot cards. Would you like to look at this new one of the Fool? And I'm like, of course I do, bitch. Like, oh my god.
And how did you know?
I'm not even questioning it. Show me more Fool cards. I must see them all. Yeah. They know me.
They do.
They know me.
Oh.
I just want to answer Elsie Clements. I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong, but okay. So I asked my therapist this question about relationships blooming because, author wanted to know.
Right.
As a psychiatrist, or not psychiatrist, a therapist, she says that a relationship is not really set in stone until about the 9-month point. That's
does
when
that mean?
you know each other.
Really?
And then after, that's when you know that you have a chance of survival as a relationship.
Well, and I'm sure that gets more
exclusive?
complicated when you know each other before you.
Well, yeah, I'm saying if you've just met the person at the beginning of the relationship.
I was going to ask, is that only romantic relationships or is that friendships as well?
I think she was only talking about romantic. I didn't go as far as friendship, so I don't know.
That'd be interesting, though. That is.
I should ask her that question on Tuesday.
Yeah, tell her now. My writing group wants to know.
Yes.
We have questions.
Where's this empirical data at? I must know your sources. Are they peer reviewed?
Carrow's gonna send
Like,
you with
listen,
a
bitch.
list of questions.
She's like that. She's cool. Hey,
Yeah, where the freak is my data? I need a bell chart, okay?
Listen, she drinks Tucson whiskey. It's all she needs to know. We had a whole session about Tucson whiskey and like how good it is and the fact that it's in Japan. I don't know why.
Oh no, they're huge into whiskey in Japan. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, it's sake." I'm like, "No, it's whiskey." They are all over that whiskey business.
I mean, ditto.
I have one friend who literally has who keeps a bar of Tennessee whiskey in her house just for when I come over. Like, it's the only time she opens it. And it's not a big one; it's like a little baby one.
I'm typically like specifically bourbon, but that's only because there was a period of my life where I would buy a handle bottle of Jack Daniels every day, and my friend and I would split it every night. And
Dangerous.
one
I
of
like
those
it.
times, and that went fine. But then one night I was like, I'm going to chase every shot with Melon Ball Boone's Farm.
Oh no!
Yep, that went exactly how you would suspect.
Oh no, no,
Yeah.
no.
So both of those things are now off the table. It was very much I threw them up and now they'll never, ever, ever go back in my face.
I just love whiskey and Coke. Like, I just love it. My favorite cheap whiskey is Black Velvet.
I don't even know that one.
It's cheap,
Sure.
but it's smooth for being cheap. I'll say it that way.
Yeah, once I throw something up, it's over.
Oh, that's with me with Jaeger. I cannot do Jaeger. Nope.
Oh, see, I had the problem with vodka when I was real young, and Jaeger is like my best friend.
I puked that all over a bar. Just a long story.
That'll do it.
Don't do Jaeger bombs after you're already drunk because the acid, or not the acid, the bubbliness from the energy drink. Yeah, just don't do it.
I have a friend who threw up on a somewhat famous musician. He threw up blueberry schnapps, and he still won't drink blueberry schnapps, but I bring it up every time we're drinking together. I'm like, want some blueberry schnapps? And he's like, why? So-and-so here so I can puke on him?
You know, the most boss puking story is on my 21st birthday. I went to, there's this place called 4th Avenue, and it's like the historical part of Tucson. And there's a bar, like, everywhere, all over this freaking street. So I went to every single bar on my 21st birthday and got one shot for free. I was so drunk by the time I got to the end of the street. And it was about 1:40, and I got one more drink, and I ended up puking in the bathroom all over the sinks at 1:58 and got kicked out of the bar right at last call. I'm like, that's when you want to puke, right when you have to leave anyways. Awesome. Yeah.
That's about 80% of the reason I would never work at a bar.
Yeah.
Because vomit's the one thing I don't do. Like, I worked in group homes and in a nursing home, so urine and feces doesn't bother me at all. But vomit I cannot do.
I've had every single type of bodily fluid because kids on me, so you know.
I just saw a comment and I kind of wanted to, like, I guess give more info onto it. Hi. Why are you doing this when I'm talking?
Hi, puppy.
Oh my god. Okay, so anyway, somebody made a comment about the drunkenness in Asia, in Russia. Oh my god, they are. So for them, drinking's more of a social activity. That's why they don't consider it against the law, because a lot of business is conducted while drinking. Russia's a little different, but because I know when I was in Japan, anytime that we were gonna go to like some kind of work thing, it usually involved us going to a bar afterwards. And socially, it's kind of interesting because when they've been drinking and they tell you that they think that you're an asshole, you're supposed to forget it because they've been drinking. Yeah. So.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I was actually in the bar, and one of my coworkers was just kind of like, I don't like American white people. And I was like, well, I can't change who I am.
I don't like American white people. That's an awesome phrase.
Yeah, and then like one of like my other coworkers like, this is just a thing. You're supposed to like let it go and like blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. But if he like starts calling me names, I'm gonna beat him up.
I'm not going there. No.
Yeah.
So funny.
It was an interesting experience.
I don't know IDGIT. What does that mean? Mike Grace game said.
Idjit?
Oh, is it Idjit?
Yeah.
Is that what that's supposed to be? Okay.
I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mike Grace has to work 14 hours tomorrow, so it's a rest thing tonight. I totally can get behind that. I'm going to be flying all morning, so I'm planning on making myself really tired so that I can sleep.
Yeah, I've only ever once worked 14 hours, never again, because Alec, after 14 hours of work, is not bearable. So, just not working, not happening.
CJ and I used to do regularly like 80 hours in a row. Because we had sleepover nights at one of our jobs.
Oh, goodness.
And you're supposed to, like, I worked overnights and you were supposed to sleep 7 hours and work 7 hours. Because or was it sleep 7 and work 9? I don't remember. But it was a 16-hour shift. And you had to, like, I had my own bedroom. Well, I shared it with the other shift, but we had our own bedroom. But 48-hour weekends can suck my ass. I never again.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Wow.
you get home and you slept, but in between the sleeping, there was somebody coming down to knock on the door and tell you that a resident was sitting out in the common area, so you have to go and see what's wrong because it's 3:00 in the morning. And once you get, that taken care of, you go back to bed, you sleep for 45 minutes, somebody else comes and knocks on the door, something else is wrong. Like, you're there to be on, like,
right, you're there so that if there's an emergency, because it's a psych facility, so like if somebody's having really bad voices, if somebody is having anxiety, you have to get up and make sure they can get their medications out of the locked area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, were you BHTs? Is that what they call it? BHT.
it was a rehabilitation services aid was the title.
Oh, okay. I thought you were the.
Yeah, it was non-crisis. It was. It was
because when I was in crisis, they would tell me about their shifts, and they did not get paid enough. They just did not.
No. Yeah. Mental health workers across the board do not get paid enough.
Yeah, I will say though, that job was at a place called Stepping Stones, and that's where my dad still works. But that job did not accept, like, because it's a community placement. There's a gnat in here. They don't accept, like, hitting people and things like that. The nursing home I worked at, I got the shit kicked out of me pretty regularly.
Kind of hard for me.
So yeah, I have scars on my arms from a lady, like, running her nails up and down my arms. And then I had my nose broken. My nose used to be perfect, and that's part of the reason I hate that my glasses don't sit right, so I don't wear one of my pairs of glasses. Because there's like a break up here, because I asked a lady why she didn't take her medicine, and so she punched me directly in the face. And then we took in a guy who was profoundly developmentally disabled, and he beat the shit out of me with a dresser. So yeah, and then before all of that, I worked in a group home, and I got beat up with a giant metal colander. I got beat with a wire chicken. I got beat with a removed prosthetic leg.
See, when I was in the hospital, anybody who was crazy, like there was this one girl cursing out the BHTs and the nurses, and she immediately got taken up to the crazier ward, as they call it. So we didn't really see a lot of anyone getting violent because they took care of that immediately.
Yeah, and we didn't have that at the facilities I worked at. We didn't have like a place for them to go until they were genuinely a risk to everybody. They would stay there. Like the lady who punched me in the face, nothing was done. She stayed there. Just nobody got that close to her again for a couple days.
Wow.
So, but I did have to turn myself in. I sent my boss a message. It's my favorite text message I've ever sent to a boss. And it said, this client punched me in the face. In related news, I said fuck in front of a client. Because you're not really supposed to swear in front of people, but...
Well, I mean, I've heard that Tucson has some of the better mental health facilities and mental health services, but even ours are still pretty bad. But yeah, I've never seen anything like that, what you were talking about, ever. Yeah,
the nursing home I worked in was very interesting because it was a combination of a nursing home and a mental health facility. So most of our clients didn't only have the mental health problem. They had the mental health problem in like dementia or a traumatic brain injury. And that decreases your control over yourself further. So it's even harder for them to control it. Like we had a lady who would take her colostomy bag off and throw it at people.
Yep. Oh, God.
She genuinely didn't know what was going on other than she didn't want it there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that's a unique smell for those of you who are unaware.
I've never even seen anyone who's had dementia or Alzheimer's like in person. So
I've seen
I couldn't imagine.
It can be really hard, especially like.
I have one guy who thought I was his wife up until like the day before he died, and I came to talk to him, and he was just kind of like, "I don't know you," and I was like, because before it was like, "Where's the paper?" Because I always had the paper with me at that point, And he's like, I don't know you. Why are you in here? It's like, I am your person, and I usually come in here around this time. He's like, I don't know you. Where's my wife, Beth? And I was like, can you take a moment, please? And so I called his family. I was like, you should probably like drop your shit and come over today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I really enjoyed it, but the hard part was
When they pass on, it's
Right.
really hard.
that I went through. And then on top of it, especially when it's a psych facility, I don't know how true this is in another facility, the families give less of a shit than you want them to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did mine in a hospice home, and like, I hate saying this, like, not to plug my book or anything, but in the first, like, one of the first lines of my book,
Oh,
Ghost calls the hospice home an abandonment center, and I did that on purpose because at the hospice homes I volunteered at, families would drop off their relatives and never come back.
Yeah, it's true. I worked for a captions agency for the hard of hearing and deaf, and a lot of them were elderly, obviously.
Mhm.
So I had to caption a call where this woman is crying on the phone to her ex-best friend who lives all the way, or not ex-best friend, but old best friend, all the way across the country, saying that she's calling her children and they keep not, like, they're not coming. She's alone.
Yeah.
And I almost wanted to burst into tears because I'm like, this little old lady just wants to see you and you're not even taking the time.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, my grandmother would go see her husband every day for 2 hours nonstop, and he was abusive. So, come on.
And I think that one of the most difficult lessons I had to learn was, as much as your heart aches for these people that you have come to care for and you love in many respects, you also don't have the same relationship with them, especially if it's a parent-child. One of the things that stuck with me longest is I had a case manager. We had a client who their child was supposed to come and take them out. I think they were going to take their child out for the child's birthday. And these are grown children. She was going to take her son out for his birthday. And she got all dressed up and she was really excited about it. She was going to take him to this really fancy, well, for Rockford, fancy restaurant. And he never showed. And when she called him that night, he was like, oh, I got busy. And this happened a couple of times. And I was really indignant on her behalf because she wanted to do this thing. She'd saved up her money. She really wanted to take him out. And the case manager that I was working under said, don't judge him too harshly. Because I was really mad. Like, I was really mad at this guy. He's hurting this person that I really care about. And it's really hard to watch her walk back to her room disappointed every time it happens. And she said, her things that she said, you have a different relationship with her than he does. He had to grow up with a parent who had severe mental health issues. Mm-hmm. You did not. You, as difficult as our job is, you still get to go home at the end of the day. That was his life. And so while you may not approve or, you hurt for the resident, this is a reality of their relationship. And that, to be honest, it broke my heart even more because now you have not just this one moment where this resident that you care for is hurting, but there's a whole lifetime of hurt that's so much a part of that they can't get past it. And so,
yeah,
for me, that was a really difficult thing.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like, I will admit, I do judge people pretty harshly when it comes to the kind of stuff. Because I have a mother who's a narcissist, and she's a little cray-cray. My father abandoned me when I was a kid for alcohol. I have a very messed up background, but I still make time to make sure my mom's okay. Because at the end of the day, that's my mom. I still do not blame my father for what he did because he was entangled in alcohol. I still go to his grave on his birthday and on Father's Day every single year. I know what it's like to be abandoned and have someone walk out. So when I listen to these calls where they abandon their parents at these places, it doesn't feel good. Mm-hmm. It just, it doesn't when I've
Right.
been in that position of someone just disappearing.
I think as writers, we also tend to want to put ourselves in someone's shoes to experience for them.
Empathy. Yeah.
Yeah. So like when we hear that, we're like, what would it feel like if I was the one making that call? And I think that does cause, it's just creative people in general, I think a lot of times tend to just want to feel what someone else is feeling. So they tend to like put themselves in their shoes more. And so I think it does tend to get a little heavier for people who think like that.
And I try not to do it because I know it's one of my character flaws, but it's just really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Well, and when you care about other people, having empathy is important. And so it's like you have to try to figure out where the happy medium is so that you don't want to murder everybody, but you can still have empathy.
Which is why I left that job, because I was ready to murder everybody. That job literally showed me the darkest parts of humanity.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't.
And I want you to know, I worked not quite 2 years in the facility, and Sarah worked 15 years.
Yep.
15 years in the same. I want you to know, it amazed me every time we would talk about something. Like she would say, "Oh, I got beat up today," or this thing happened, or whatever. Because I can't. Yeah, after 2 years, I was like, that's not the work for me.
Well, obviously, Sarah has the mental control not to go back and get insane.
Well, and here's the thing: is like I don't anymore. I have definitely lost some of my patience, and that's part of the reason I don't work in that field anymore. Is because. And I really do think that social work is the kind of field where we should really consider putting limits on how long people do it, because you start to see so much ugly that it's really hard not to see ugly.
All the time.
And now I work in a law office that does Department of Family and Child Care Services cases. And I see that the older caseworkers in that field tend to find people as abusive immediately, as opposed to the newer workers who want to look and see what's going on and figure out what's actually happening. And that just solidifies my feeling that, like, if you're going to deal with people who are difficult in this manner, you need to have time where you aren't doing that to be able to maintain your middle ground. You can't,
And don't you think, and this was something that I think we had talked about a couple of times when we worked there. Sarah and I worked at the same place for a while. And one of the things I think doesn't happen enough, or at least it didn't happen at our facility, maybe it happens at others, but mental health care for the mental health caregivers has to be a high priority. Because when you are caring for people who have such difficult, when you are caring for people, it's not just people who are difficult, but when you are caring for people, people are messy across the board, whether they have a mental health issue or not. And so when you deal with people, you have to have tools at your disposal to be able to protect your own mental and physical health. And one of the things that drove me absolutely nutty was that staff was never valued as people. And that was one of my biggest frustrations, was I never felt like I wasn't valued as an employee. I wasn't valued as a human being. I was there to punch a clock and bill Medicaid for money. And that was my job.
And see, that's what I appreciated about my call center job, the captioning, is they actually did value everyone.
Yeah.
They even had a special service with a psychiatrist or therapist or counselor, I'm not sure which one it was, to call if you have a breakdown. If you have a breakdown while you're on the phones, they will let you go outside and spend however long you need to sit there. So they were valued. It's just these calls. I mean, I had to say racial slurs, and it just got bad. I couldn't. There was no level of talking to a psychiatrist that was going to help me.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sure those can get really disgusting real fast, those calls.
A lot of the industry that involves like social services like that. So we're talking about nursing, caregivers, caseworkers and teachers, and basically anything that involves providing a service to people in some kind of nurturing capacity. It's always underfunded, it's always understaffed, and it's always underappreciated.
Yeah.
And it just drives me nuts.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like these are the people we're sitting our other people to. Like we're sitting our people that we can't care for in front of this person and then being like, well, suck it up, Buttercup. And it's like, well, you sure didn't want to do this job.
Yeah.
Well, there's two groups of people that are undervalued or people who have to deal with those people, and that's children and elderly. Everyone mentally disabled or handicapped. Everyone in between is more important than these people. And that's why these jobs are underfunded because no one cares.
Yeah.
Like they don't care.
Well, it's not that no one cares,
it's
that
the people who
culturally,
route the money places don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Culturally, we don't care. We don't care about people who aren't productive members of society.
Yeah.
Or what we see as productive members of society.
Right.
Like, and that's the thing is like we have a program here in town which I think is fucking amazing. It's called the Barbara Olson Center of Hope, and what they do is they do packaging of nuts and bolts and screws that developmentally disabled adults do, and they get paid piece by piece. So however fast they work is how much they get paid. And it's just enough to supplement their Social Security or whatever, but they're working. So they feel like they're producing. You know what I mean? Like, so they feel valued as a member of society because they've found something for them to do that gives them value. Because as human beings, working is actually really, really good for you. Like having some sort of purpose, and work for a lot of people's purpose, and it's actually very mentally healthy for you. So that's one of the things I think people miss.
That's some serious heavy talk we're having this evening. Like not to be
Right?
like we should like talk about puppies, y'all, but like damn.
I have a special place in my heart for mental health because I'm crazy as fuck. And I'm not saying that to be derogatory. I have bipolar disorder and that's how
I'm exactly the same. I got bipolar disorder and CPTSD, so yeah.
Depression and
I think
anxiety
that's why
here.
I'm so pessimistic about everybody, because I experience those really negative emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to see the good in most things.
Oh, absolutely.
Bad. Like, you know how long it took me to trust other men?
Right.
And even trusting other women not to screw me over. It's just...
Yeah. I mean, it does, like, if someone treats you badly, it is really difficult not to take parts of their personality or who they are and decide that those are the reasons they treated you badly.
Yeah, I've literally had relationships end because I had a mental breakdown because I was like, that person I'm in the relationship with is this person who hurt me. Like I had a what the hell moment when my therapist was like, that relationship ended because when they did that, you saw your father. And I was like, what? Wait, what? I disassociated from that man apparently and didn't know. So it's just, I always thought I was just a judgmental bitch. Like I seriously, that's always what I thought I was. But apparently all my bad experiences have contributed to a lot of the things that I think and do.
Well, yeah, because you're talking about like, a break in trust and mistreatment. And, when you encounter that so often, it's very hard to not apply or transfer that onto other people that you don't actually have a good relationship with. It's a very normal thing that happens. And it usually takes time for people to form meaningful relationships that allow them to kind of break out of that assumption about people's nature.
Yeah. And that's why I enjoy, like, I'm a late start with the writing because I was one of those people who's like, I can't write because I suck at grammar, So it took me 31 years to actually try to write anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I pour all of that into my book. So whoever reads my book's going to see that this character has got some severe trust issues. Some severe trust issues. And it's actually cathartic for me because I can see it from outside by writing it. And I know that one of the rules is don't write yourself into your character, but it's helpful to me,
We're in all of our characters. Let's just be honest. Like,
Yeah.
all of our
Yeah.
have some of us in them.
It's much more about adjusting it so that it's not just an insert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh, my character is
But you're
definitely
in there.
somewhat different from me, but
Yeah, well, we're in there. Like,
yeah.
there's something in there that you identify with because that's how you build those characters.
Oh, and on the subject of mental health, I love talking about it. My channel is primarily about that, at least if you watch all my past videos,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm what you call I learned this term a while ago, but a mental health, what do they call it? A mental health advocate or whatever.
Mm.
So I try to do things to help people who don't have mental health understand,
Mm-hmm.
and also help people with mental health issues realize they're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see a lot of my art, it's very emotionally painful in some ways because it's the raw feelings themselves. So I love talking about mental health, even though it's really raw and a lot of times people avoid it. I love talking about it.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the reason that I was fine with us talking about mental health in general on my channel. Especially given that, I mean, you're always a little riskier talking about something questionable when you're in a live stream, but I think it's really important that
But we do
people,
talk about it, yeah.
right, that people express those thoughts and feelings and things like that, because the person next to you may never have dealt with that, and they may need that to understand someone they care about. They may need that for a book, like whatever it is. Like if somebody leaves here and they think differently about mental health, then it was totally worth it to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not that my comment was.
Oh no, I know that.
Change the subject. It was just normally when we come on here, we're talking about tacos and cats,
Right.
and
It just depends. It's me. That's all.
Yes, I blame Alec.
It's either sex or mental health. It's one of the two.
one time CJ and I must have had a half-hour-long conversation about the state of education.
Yes.
Like,
Oh yes.
we were at it for a good while.
I love those conversations. Like 1 minute, 1 week you're talking about tacos, the next you're talking about education. I love the back and forth. Great.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason I like these Friday streams so much. And like I'm not starting when Nano starts, we'll be a little more serious about the writing part.
Yeah.
But in between, I think it's important that we also remember that part of why we write is to connect with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so connecting with other people helps.
I kind of had an idea for a live stream where in between, instead of me talking, I start lip syncing to random music as like a 5-minute aside. I think it would be fun. Watch me act goofy.
And now Tamara wants tacos. I had pizza. I didn't have tacos tonight.
I forgot what we're having. What are we having?
I heard dinner. That's a great answer.
We're having curry. We're having Japanese curry.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
delicious.
that
Is it
sounds
yellow
delicious.
or brown curry?
I love Japanese curry so much. I'm being spoiled right now because I can't walk.
That is as it
You know
should
what?
be.
Yeah, I think you deserve a little spoiling. I think that's fair.
Of course, I'll probably get spoiled even when I can walk, but that's not the point. I'm a princess, so you know.
Whatever works. So, do you guys want to drop one more quick sprint before we wrap for the night?
I'd like to.
Do whatever you want to do, Sarah.
Okay, it's not too late for everybody?
It's your circus. I'm your monkey. You tell me what to do.
Let's do one more sprint so that people can at least know that it's the last sprint before we do the last sprint. How about that?
I'm all dark and shit. My lighting's great.
You know, when you're stranded in a bed, I don't think there's much anybody can do about it.
And I'm not gonna try to crawl toward my spotlights and hook them up. It's just not happening.
Right.
You don't even have the long crawling hair to be like the crazy
Oh
ring
yeah.
girl. So at least if you had the ring girl hair, then you could have a reason to crawl across the room.
Yes.
And then when your significant other walked in, they'd be like, "What are you doing? What is happening?"
Pretty much.
Or do they just shake their head and just be like, oh, really?
They do that with me no matter what it is. So
There goes Alec again.
that's what everyone does. Like seriously.
All right. Shall we start this bitch?
Go for it.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Something happened to my clock.
There's the scissors.
Scissors.
Scissors. Not so you can use scissors.
Yes,
But also not real.
exactly.
If you're not doing it like Carrow, why are you even doing it?
contained.
All right. That is a wrap on that sprint. All right. How did everybody do?
I finished saying I was right, and I posted it with all my citations, and then I started responding to a correspondence for work.
Woohoo! Awesome, awesome. Alec, you are muted. So are you, CJ?
I got 2 more characters outlined, and also remembered that I need to reorder lemon drops. So I did that.
I know you use lemon drops for something. What is it?
I use lemon drops for something.
Yes.
I eat them.
Oh, is that all it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you used them in some way. I thought you, like, gave them to students or something.
No,
I do have a student who bums them off of me.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
Like, literally, that's all she's like, can I have a lemon drop? And I'm like, at the end of the lesson. She's like, okay, is it the end of the lesson yet? Like, no, it's not.
I don't know if this was like
25 more minutes.
The theater I worked in thing, but we did this thing called lemon drops before shows when I was in theater. And you would all hold hands, and then you'd put the lemon drop in your mouth, and then you hold hands, and somebody says like a poem or something, and it's basically like, it's like the break a leg of like, it's like a cross between break a leg and like the huddle before a sports game that I assume other people watch. I don't know for sure what they do in a huddle, but I'm assuming that's what they do in a huddle.
I think that's what it does.
I used to think they were making out, but now that I know they're not making out.
That's what they do on TV when you watch them do it, like the movies and stuff. In the movies, they do that.
Yeah.
No, my grandfather, who passed away last December, was a lemon drop fiend. One of my earliest memories of him is him shaking a mason jar full of lemon drops. Here, have one. Don't tell your grandmother. Yeah, that was his big thing. Here, have a lemon drop. Don't tell your grandma. Like, you keep them on top of the refrigerator. She knows they're there. Like, nobody thinks that you're clever, but you're adorable. But anyway, so for his funeral, I bought a 2-pound bag of lemon drops, and everybody threw some into the grave. So it was very
appropriate.
Yes. But I still had like a half a pound of lemon drops after everybody got to throw some in. And they have finally gone. So I want more.
Gotcha. How'd you do, Alec?
Oh, I only did like 20 words.
Was it a rough one?
Yeah, that was just like, my brain is fried.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. And it is Friday night, so I mean, it's probably a good time for your brain to be fried. Also, you've had a really long week.
Yeah.
Yes.
A long week.
Like,
Yeah.
absurdly long.
I did do one more thing because writing wife started texting me, and she's like, you need to find a better book than the one that we read. And so I've been sending her books and waiting for her final verdict.
See, I'd help you, but all the books I know are male romance, so.
You just want something with sex in it, so I just went and found like a book I know that has sex in it that I haven't read yet. And like, I hear this one has lots of sex in it, so.
See, my romances, I'm one of those people who likes what do they call it? A balance. It needs to be raunchy as hell, but the plot needs to be awesome. If one of the others sucks, it's a fail. It's a 2-star. I can't.
I didn't even look at the star ratings on this book. She might say no. Oh, it's got 4.5 stars, so.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got some
Um,
snarky ideas, but I won't say them on the air.
Because we were hoping somebody would like give us a recommendation in the comments, but nobody did. So I was just kind of like, so here's.
It's because you have to go through their long list of romances you've read because 99% of them you don't retain. Like I have one series that I really do enjoy, but it doesn't fit what you were looking for, which was reverse harem from what I was.
That's what she wants to do. There was a different book like I got the other day, and I was like, hey, I just got this book. Maybe we can do this one. And then I sent her a message saying, absolutely not, because I'm on chapter 2. And I normally don't go into like editor mode on books, but I immediately started getting the pencil and the pen and highlighting stuff. And like by the time I got to page 14, I was like, I'm done. We're not reviewing this book. So
Yeah, I have a book where like it's an amazing book. It's just there was one issue that I keep popping up, and that's not tense changing, but head hopping in the middle of the book without any warning.
Oh, yeah, that can be really distracting if it's not done well.
And I know they only did it because it was a death scene of like, or not a death scene, but a spirit leaving, saying goodbye to our loved ones and leaving. But it was like, I just pick one.
Right.
It's like, and the mother wasn't a main character, so it's like I really did need to know what her point of view was.
Yeah,
she was
sometimes
the first 25% of the book.
Sometimes it feels much more like the author is going, see, I can hear over here too, and it's like, no, you don't need to prove that to me. I believe you.
Yeah. But I don't want to judge too harshly because it's not like I've been writing books for 20 years, so
No, but there is this myth that like if you like music but you're not a musician, you can't comment about music. If you're not an author, you can't comment about books. No, you're fucking wrong. If you
clearly don't go to Goodreads.
Right, like if you take in this thing, you probably know more about it than the people who are writing it on some level. At least what you enjoy. So that I used to do music stuff, and that was a big thing in the music industry. Was like,
oh my goodness,
I don't like this bass line, and they'd be like, well, if you don't play bass, then what do you know about this bass line? And it's like, go fuck yourself. I know what I like, and I don't like this.
Yeah. And there's a difference between saying this bass line is not good, and it doesn't fit with the music, and it doesn't, talking about the technical side of it, and saying, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Those are two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
You've read
and I think like that's the problem in the painting community too. Like there are some situations where someone will I'll show someone a painting who's never painted before, and they'll point out everything that's wrong, and I'm just looking at them like, you tried doing that.
Yeah.
Like they do it with such an attitude. That's I think where that comes from. It's like, until you've been in the trenches, don't come at me like you're some art connoisseur. I think that's where that comes from.
Yeah, except that the thing is if you're making it for other people to consume, then you have to allow those people to have opinions on what they're consuming.
Mm.
So, and that's usually used for like music critics. Well, they don't know anything about music. Well, no, they're a music critic. Like it's like when you watch American Idol and somebody looks at Simon Cowell and they're like, why don't you sing? And it's like, he's not a fucking singer. He can tell when somebody can. Those are two different skills.
Yeah. And it probably does depend on the creative skill we're talking about too. Like,
yeah.
Again, most of my training is in painting. I know nothing about music. So, I listen to other people because you like what you like, but because painting is such a subjective thing, most people will look at it and be like, I don't like this because of this, but that's your own personal taste. That's not a commentary on the art.
Right. Yeah. No. There's a difference. There's a difference between commenting on your taste versus commenting on ability.
Yeah.
You don't.
Most people. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can hate Megadeth. Megadeth all of Megadeth's musical writing is classical. Like it's classically written. So you can hate them, but you can't say they're bad. They are not bad. They are they are on paper very good.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
it's
don't
the
have
same
to like
thing
it.
like with painting. I despise Picasso as a human being, but he's a damn good artist, or
Right.
what?
Right.
So, but I've seen people like sit there with painting and be like, well, their art's horrible because I don't like this. And it's like, that's not a critique.
Right. Yeah.
Not.
Yeah. And
So-
and you can definitely have technical knowledge without without having the ability to do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of art teachers out there and music
yeah.
teachers out there that do it.
Yeah. That
So-
that understand how it works, but just aren't skilled enough or skilled in the right way.
But they also know how to critique.
right. Right. Because they're
So it's like-
informed about what is
Yeah.
important.
So generally, it's just, there's some people who just get butthurt about having their issues pointed out. And I've been that person before, you know, especially
Yeah.
being an artist.
I mean, it also, like, you also have a decision as to whether or not to come at somebody like a dick.
Yeah, right?
When you have those opinions.
Yeah, it's usually what I do is I'll be like, they'll come at me like a dick and I'll give them the resting bitch face without realizing I'm doing it.
Yeah, like...
And then I'll take a deep breath and be like, okay, I'll listen.
Yeah, I mean, if you showed me a picture of a drawing of a spider, I might be able to tell you, like, that's really well done. But I also don't really want to look at it because it's a fucking spider.
Yeah.
Like, those are both true.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I just think you kind of have to pick, like, not pick and choose, but you have to look at the language that the person who's commenting on your area,
Yeah.
how they're coming across, whether they should be taken into consideration. Because some people are just trolls. Like,
Well,
some
yeah,
people-
yeah, absolutely. And if somebody's just being shit, then just ignore them.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's hard in the creative world because there's a lot of people who are like, well, take it all. I'm like, no, I'm not going to take
Yeah.
someone calling me a horrible human being.
right. Yeah. But do you guys
And
wanna
like
wrap
I
up?
said, I'm staying away from Goodreads. When my book comes out,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
no.
touching Goodreads. I'm just not doing it.
No, that's no.
I've read those comments. No, I can't.
Yeah, they're really funny if they're not about you.
Oh yeah.
I definitely look at them on people I don't know's books. Like, I don't look at them on anyone I know's books, but I will look at them on people like super big famous people, and some of those reviews are fucking amazing. Like, people spend a lot of time just making fun of somebody on Goodreads.
Now you wonder if they have a day job sometimes,
A lot
how
of them-
good they are.
A lot of them probably don't. They got a lot of time on their hands. All
I've
right.
done one negative review. One. Ever.
I won't
I
say
mean-
how many I left. I've left a few.
Yeah, that I will if it totally warrants it, but I try to come up with something positive or not review.
One person like recommended their friend's book to me, and I said, sure, I'll read it. And I never met this person before, and the book was garbage, like on so many levels. And when I went to go look at Goodreads, I could tell that every person was just that person's friend trying to be nice, because all the feedback was really vague, like engaging storyline with interesting characters. Like, you know, there wasn't any depth in there.
Yeah.
And so I came in and I gave it a 1 star, and I was like, I know that you're probably the type of person that reads your review, so I hope that you will take my critical feedback and change your book. And I left about 3 pages of what they needed to do. And the big thing that really like I could not stand is that everybody spoke in perfect grammar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. I
I know it pisses word off, but no.
Well, because I
People don't
remember
do
I
that.
mentioned it to the person who recommended the book, because like I must have gotten to page 50 and I was like, I'm about to throw this book at the wall, and this is just one of the big reasons. And they're like, well, you know, I mentioned that to them, but they said that's just the culture of how the elves talk. And I was just like, there's more than elves in the story. They all do it. It's like, well, that's just what they told me. I'm like, it's a bullshit reason, and you know it.
Yeah, I think I have like maybe 2 characters in my book that talk in perfect grammar, but that's because they're angels. They don't know how to talk otherwise. But having everyone talk perfect grammar, that kind of takes away the voices of the people. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I can read that.
Yeah, most people do not speak that way.
Yeah.
And when they do, most people are actually pretty tempered while they're doing it. Like people who do speak very specifically tend to do that in certain situations.
Mhm.
Like, and so it makes sense if you're giving a speech, you're going to speak differently than if you're talking to your mother.
Right.
It's just going to be true. So.
Well, like one of the reviews I did, like that one review I told you that I did that was bad. All I said is that it felt like this person took a really great idea, but just had, okay, so it was about a romance between a familiar and a vampire. And I felt like it was an amazing premise, but I think they just wanted to write a story about it, a guy with cat ears and a cat tail, a fan fiction. That's literally how the story came across. And I'm like,
I think
really?
that does happen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I do think that does happen where people like they originally are like, I just want to see this thing happen, and then they're like, fuck it, I'll publish it.
I'm just like, you could have done so much more. I mean, the book had white room syndrome the entire time.
Oh wow.
I was just like, I'm not even like, I'm still learning, and this book, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All
that
right.
was the only review.
Well, we're getting pretty late here, so do we want to do our wrap up?
Yeah.
We can do that.
All right, we'll go out the way we came in. So, A.L. Williams.
All right, I'm A.L. Williams. I am the author of Immortal Scars, debuting November 14th. If you want to join any of my social media, I'm sure my YouTube is linked down below, and then
I
go
might have to
from
grab
there.
it, but yeah, it'll be down there one way or another.
Yeah, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, CJ.
I am CJ Blair, and you can catch me down below on, I think, my Twitter and possibly my, nope, it's escaped me now. My serial fiction, the South Deer Island Chronicles, should be linked down there as well, so catch me there.
Awesome. All right, and Carrow.
Hello, my name is Carrow Brown. I am the author of Queen of Swords and Silence. On my channel, I talk and whine about the life of an author. I also do drunk book reviews and anything else that people tell me to pretty much do a video on. I think my channel is also linked down below.
Yep.
Yeah, today I uploaded a new drunk book review video, this time with my writing wife in it. So just two women getting drunk and talking about an erotica book. So if you have time for that, it's there.
All right. And I am updating this so you guys have A.L. Williams's
All of it.
links down here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Save. All
And I
right.
know we totally just like dragged on, even though it's time for you to go to bed, but
I'm sorry.
that's what I do. I'm sorry.
All right. So I am Sarah Schoenberg. This is my channel. I do all the things. There is a video coming out on Sunday from me that is a little different because I'm out of town this weekend, so it will not be a regular vlog like I usually do, but next Sunday will be another vlog, and it'll be from San Diego partly. And then I do have a video coming out on Wednesday, which is a surprise. Hooray! But yeah, so I'm gonna go find out what this next part of the Shane Dawson documentary is. So because I napped after it
Don't
came
even
out.
get me started because I couldn't watch it when it came out because I had to pick up somebody from work.
I was napping and then I woke up and I didn't have enough time before the stream. So that's what this whole stream has been, Sarah passing time until she watches the next Shane Dawson.
Tamara actually saw it before I did, and she
Yeah.
made it. And I was like,
I know we were getting ready and she's like, I'm watching Shane Dawson. I'm like, shut up. Leave me alone. Okay. All right, I'm really going to hit this button if I can find it.
anytime
Nope.
you want to find it.
It won't let me out.
Let me out. No.
Yeah, this is a problem.
We're trapped in YouTube
I'm
land.
trapped.
I'm here forever.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
I don't want to be here forever. I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, Carol, when I first started watching your video with your backdrop, I was sitting there for like 20 minutes trying to figure out how the hell you did that. And this is someone who does not know anything about filming. So I was just like, what is that? Like 20 minutes.
Oh, you could have just asked me, and I would have sent you a link to it.
Yeah, I was just like not thinking of that at the time.
I'm super approachable, I swear.
I swear.
See, I'm super scared to approach people, so there's a problem.
All right. I think I'm there. Am I there? Yes. All right. So we'll see you guys all later. Have a good week.
All right, bye.
Good night.